Hey everyone, thank you and thanks for joining this call. So as a founder of a video production company, I've been on hundreds of these calls. These pitch meetings that happen over that one Zoom call can determine whether the client is on board with you on the project or not. It's all about understanding what the client wants, what they actually need, and how both sides understand the same problem together. So in this video, I will walk you through how to handle these particular client meetings. A pitch meeting isn't just about impressing the client, it's about getting aligned on the same call. I would get on, introduce myself and the company. So I started this company about 10 years ago. Awesome. So we have Bhavna also on the call. She leads the pre-production. So during the introduction, you need to gauge how much of the introduction does the client really want to listen to. Some clients are rarely interested in your long introductions. They just want to get to the point and stick to the brief. So very quickly, I move the conversation straight to them, and that's when I sit back and ask them to explain the project in their perspective. I'm really curious to know what's your journey been, who you are, what your philosophy is, what your ethos is. What is the current need? Where are you guys placed right now? What's your vision? Now, this is probably the most important part of the call, listening. So when the clients describe their project, they sometimes reveal far too much information, such as deadlines, stakeholders, internal team meetings, but some clients share way too little to even begin with. Either way, I just sit back until they are completely done to quickly distill what information is relevant to the brief. Something I almost always do is record these conversations with the permission of the client. So when I'm speaking live to someone, I tend to always think about the next question in my head. So recording can give me the opportunity to go back and probably catch those tiny details that I may have missed out on. So once the client is done explaining the project, I would come in and ask some basic broad questions and nothing technical. To speak to your employees, they have to explain to me what they do, what are they working for, what would they say? Who is the target audience? What is the call to action? What is the emotion that you're trying to leave them with? Answers to these questions will open the path to the next phase of the discussion. Paraphrasing is repeating the client's words in my own way just to make sure that I understood the brief properly. At least from my understanding that we're shooting now in that one day in the co-work. This is essentially for those who do not know much about the company at all.
Yeah.
So this confirms two things. Have I understood the brief properly? And also helps the clients to clarify if I have misunderstood anything. You know, there's a saying that say yes and we'll figure it out later. That tactic can be very risky and can probably jeopardize your relationship with your client. So I try to avoid making promises that are not too realistic. But at the same time, I also try not to be too pessimistic also on the call. The goal is to stay balanced. If the brief is slightly beyond the scope of what you can provide, it's absolutely fine to let the clients know that you'll get back to them. This transparency will go a long way in impressing your clients. At some point, your clients may need to see some of your work samples. Make sure you don't romanticize your work too much and make the clients stay on the call. So always keep these work samples ready which are relevant to this particular project. Now, these small details that I'm about to explain will make an impact on your first impression with the client. First, you need to have good quality sound and video. You're a video production company, so it probably makes sense to have good looking sound and video on your call. The background needs to be neat and clean with nothing questionable behind you. You need to be framed well. Even how you present yourself does matter on this call. You don't want to be dressed shabbily, nor do you want to overdress because you automatically put yourself and the client on two different levels. One thing I almost never do on a discovery call is to discuss the final quote. Pricing always involves internal discussions, team meetings, and you don't want to share this back-end confusion with the clients on the call. And if the client insists on the pricing, I would let them know that I'll get back to them on email with the estimated budget. Client pitches are not about selling. This is not about letting them know that you're the best selection that there is. It's a long road until the final film is made, so they want to make sure that they're working with the right person to share this journey with.
Will first get all your answers to the questions and then design a plan for you that makes sense, and it will be a small start.
This pitch meeting is about them to decide if they want to work with you because you care about telling their story in the best way possible. And if they are convinced on that call, everything else after that is smooth sailing. This is Nikhil. We're out of frame.